Hello, my name is Caleb Smith with the Rocket Miner newspaper, here to provide your news update for May 30th, 2020. I'm coming to you from a different location than usual. This is a different place than planned. I hope to be able to do a stand-up at the edge of the ball fields where Legion baseball has been going on today, kicking off the competitive part of the season. And we'll talk a little bit more about there. But due to new guidelines in response to the coronavirus, as when the game's finished, if you weren't there to specifically watch the next game, you needed to exit the facilities. So I'm coming to you from my kitchen with slightly different equipment than usual because the good professional stuff is back in the office, and I don't have the lighting or the stand or the camera remote like I normally do. I'm making do like many other people. Let's start, as we often do, with coronavirus figures. The Cowboys State is reporting 688 lab-confirmed cases. That's as of the time of this filming, according to the Wyoming Department of Health. In addition, there are 210 probable cases in Wyoming and 16 people who have had COVID-19 related deaths. In Sweetwater County, the number of confirmed cases is up to 19. If you recall, it was Wednesday when we had our 18th lab confirmed case. We're hopeful to get more details soon and put that out there. In addition to reporting 19 confirmed cases, the Wyoming Department of Health is reporting 8 probable cases in Sweetwater County. Nationwide, the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention are reporting 1,737,950 total cases in the United States, which is 21,304 new cases compared to yesterday. Total deaths now sits at 102,785 people, which is 1,265 more than yesterday. Globally, Johns Hopkins University is reporting 6,054,187 total cases, with 368,711 people having died total, and recovery sitting at 2,562,191. I'd like to follow up on a story that we had in yesterday's video. If you saw Chase's broadcast, he noted that the Sweetwater County Library System is opening back up. That includes the Community Fine Arts Center, and they've sent out a release today detailing what you'll be able to see that's extra special when it reopens on Monday. Usually in the spring, they have Young Arts Month, which is a celebration that they pretty much end up extending through the entire school year to showcase artwork of young students from Sweetwater County School District Number 1. This year, it kind of got interrupted in the middle. Some of the extra works were placed online. Hope you got to see them there. But we didn't get to all of the usual showcases. Usually at the end, the series concluded with works from the art teachers who've been teaching and mentoring these students all along, and that's the exhibit that will that you can see when starting Monday and running through July 29th. It will feature the works of 6 full-time art teachers, specifically Jacob Harkins, Jasmine Kruger, Sherry Coomer, Amanda Margrave, Haley Riskus, and Nathan Wanacott. For those of you who don't remember the specific hours, because if you do, great, I envy your memory. But the hours at the gallery and other county libraries are going to be Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Fridays, it will be 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. On Saturdays, it will be noon to 4 p.m. To conclude, I want to talk a little bit of baseball. As I mentioned, I joined about 100 other people at the Wataha Ball Complex over near the golf course. There wasn't a specific number announced for the crowd. That's just what I added up seeing in the stands, looking up around the dugouts. And I know there was probably a little bit, and I'm throwing in a little bit more because there were some people who, until those storm clouds blew through, were looking for some shade, or were in and around the concessions. I'd say there were probably about 100 of us total, specifically watching the Sand Puppies take on the Knights. Green River's Post 28 versus Rock Springs Post 24. There were some changes. I already mentioned how right now, just because they don't want to get anywhere close to other people right now, there was a giant sign that to go through the fence to get to the seats, you had to pass by a sign that noted that you're supposed to be staying. Households are supposed to be staying at least 6 feet apart. There was a little bit of crowding in some of the shadier areas, but there were certainly a lot more space between people than there normally were in the stands. Masks were not required. One of the home base ref was wearing a mask, and I was wearing a mask. I didn't see any others. Not to say that people weren't. I'm just saying just what I saw out of that group of people. In addition, at the end of the game, instead of doing the usual lining them up, everybody going, good game, good game, good game, good game, good game. It was interesting to watch the players from their respective side of the field kind of like, good game, you guys. Yeah, good game back at you. It's different. If it's little tweaks like that still allow us to have games, I think that's a small sacrifice to make. It's one of those things where, as people were finding out, because Green River played back-to-back games, and I was with listening to a lot of Rock Springs people going like, they look forward to when there can be while the number of people outside's been raised to 250, they're still looking forward to when there can be a little bit more. Lord knows that they can cram a lot more people into the seats than what there were today. It was also just, there are a lot of people who were just excited to play. You could tell the players were really getting into it, especially some of the way that they started with their nice, neat, crisp uniforms, and some of them got a little bit dustier, dirtier as the game went on for all the slides or diving catches that were on display. Score-wise, the Knights beat the Sand Puppies 14-5, playing a little bit more than 2 hours and about 5 evenings. The second game, where the Knights took on Post 43 from Jackson, the Jackson team won 14-0. It's continues to be interesting as we watch new rules and expectations come into play, and we combine old traditions and expectations with some new stuff. It's a little bit unnerving because it's not quite what you're used to. It requires extra concentration and practice. I can't tell you how many times I've started to shake someone's hands. I'm like, sorry, that's faux pas. Not that I don't wish to convey my greetings, just want to do so in a respectful, safe way. We're going to be spending a while making these adjustments. And even once the adjustments are made, I expect a period where we just kind of just have to maintain them for a while. We still have no concrete guideline on when there will be a vaccine available, or widespread treatment, or the things that you need to be able to to get a little bit closer to people without being potentially unsafe. While we're thankful that our numbers remain low in Wyoming and Sweetwater County, there's still hot spots that keep popping up here and there across the nation. Our numbers are not near as low as we'd like them to be. Other countries have increased testing and got to the point where they're seeing their numbers drop. I look forward to when America's numbers are similar, where our testing is at a level we've not seen before and our numbers continue to go down. That's when you know that we've reached a turning point. Right now, our figures don't indicate that. As we are good neighbors, good family members, good baseball fans, as we all just do our part, just leave a little bit more space around other people, don't crowd the concessions line, know that you can't do the usual post-game celebration or traditions that you normally would, but still look for ways to share the high points, share the good times. There were some spectacular plays by both sides. I always love it when a play is so good that even the other team's like, no, that guy was good. That, gotta give it to him. I don't like what the scoreboard says now, but... Or there was one bit where, rushing for the baseline, two players kind of collided, and they had that one bit where the guy needed a little bit extra time to get up, and as I've seen in so many other games and other sports, anytime you have just good people around, when the player got back to his feet and kind of took his place on the field, everybody applauded, because that's what you do. That's part of love of the game. That's just part of the community too. So anyway, this has been your news update for May 30th. I'm Caleb Smith, wishing you a good day and a safe tomorrow.